this is your scene. Okay, so the first card is the Fool. Second card is the High Priestess. Third card is the Six of Swords. And the fourth card is Justice. So I'll pull some clarifiers as we go along, but for now let's just jump into your scene, Libra. So I'm immediately hearing the phrase full of it. And I'm asking what it is, whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing. Full of knowledge. So this feels like a wise fool that's at the end of one journey and about to embark on another. So at the end of one, it's like you've been on the fool's journey. The fool's journey is the 22 major arcana cards, and it feels as though you've completed one round of that, and you're about to embark on you're about to begin the cycle again, but as a wiser fool than when you first started. And this High Priestess card is indicating that whatever experiences or self-development that you've done over the last, it could be months, it could be years that you've been doing this, have built up and filled you full of an inner knowing, an inner wisdom, that has allowed you to embody some of the High Priestess's qualities. So the High Priestess is very in tune with spirit, trusts her intuition, is guided by her inner being. This feels like something about your intuition is telling you that it's time to move on, to make a transition. That Six of Swords card, along with the High Priestess, is making me feel as though there's something about the situation you're in at the moment that feels a bit flat, feels a bit, you could be feeling a bit down about some kind of situation that you're in at the moment, and your intuition, because it's so strong and guides you, is telling you that it's time to shift something. It could be a physical transition that you're making, or it could be, just a change of mindset, a change of habits. There's some kind of change in process. It feels like it's already started. It's like you've become aware that all the inner work that you have been doing now means that it's like you're getting another turn around the kind of karmic wheel, if you like. And this time round, things that brought you joy the last time don't bring you the same joy, because it's like you've learned so much about yourself, so you know yourself better, and you have a deeper understanding of what you do and don't enjoy, and also what you will and won't accept. So there's certain things that are having to change because you're different. So it makes sense that the Six of Swords is there. And I also feel like some of the things that you're having to change, or the moves that you're having to make, might come with a little bit of sadness, where you might be letting go of people or places that once were important to you, but are now, I got maybe it's going to be a faster move than you think. A motorbike just sped by outside. I don't know if you could hear that or not. Yeah, it's like things, people, places that once were important to you, or once you found lots of enjoyment in, it's like that's faded, but there's a certain amount of sadness in walking away from those old situations or an old version of you. But your intuition is so strong and you're filled with self-knowledge to the point where you can't do the things that you used to do, and you can't be the person who you used to be. Here you can't accommodate others so much as you used to. You're on a journey to flip the energy around so that sort of you can be accommodated. It's as though you've spent a lot of time making other people feel so comfortable, and now that you've done all this inner work, you've realised that you also need to be included in your care. So it feels like a message of self-care, but it feels like you've already learnt the message of self-care, and now you're actually starting to lock into your mind, to your soul, and to your body. So it's changing the way that you show up in the world. It's changing the decisions that you make and the actions that you take. And so it can create a bit of, the Six of Wands, if you see the ripples in the water at the bottom of the card, it's as though when you make changes, it can sometimes create ripples in your external reality because you're actually becoming a more developed version of yourself. So it creates ripples throughout all areas of your life. But the Six of Swords also is always heading to calmer waters, smoother waters. So it's saying that because you know that you're doing the right thing with that High Priestess energy, these ripples are just temporary. And it's a message to keep going, keep following that direction that you're moving in. And the Justice card is almost like a confirmation that sort of like justice will be served, in terms of you'll eventually get to where you want to be. You'll eventually feel the way you want to feel, and it will feel like a relief, as though like a wrong has been put right. But also it almost feels as though what you're seeing as the wrong is not necessarily directly relating to other people. It's to do with the way that you used to interact with yourself. Maybe putting yourself last on the list, maybe going against your own thoughts, beliefs, opinions, feelings, needs in favour of everyone else. And now it's like you're putting that right. You're making things right with yourself. So let's pull a clarifier for the Fool card. We'll just see what else we can glean from this. It feels like quite a clear message, but let's just see anyway. Clarifier for the Fool card for Libra. So we've got the Three of Wands. Yeah, it's just another, to me that just is, it's clarifying that you're taking a confident leap ahead because you have now got the wisdom to do so. It's like before, when you've maybe tried to leap ahead or make big changes, there's been, a bit of self-doubt where you could either be talked out of it or you would just keep changing your mind, whereas now it feels like something has solidified within you. Some kind of stability within yourself is allowing you to make these confident decisions and confident moves without necessarily needing external validation or without needing permission from other people. It's like you're finally able to give yourself permission to decide what's right for you and your life. So let's have a clarifier for the High Priestess. Okay, yeah, we've got the Five of Cups. So that's echoing what I was saying earlier about there's this kind of feeling of sadness. It's like you're having to give up certain things. But I feel as though what you're giving up, although it might involve like walking away from people or places or situations, I feel like the main thing that you're giving up is this old version of you that would fill everybody else's cup before your own. And it left you feeling depleted. And now it's like with that knowledge, you're able to really, it's like you're looking at the evidence and going, I lost more than I retained by being that way. It's like the high priestess in you is saying to yourself, like as though you can't go into denial about it anymore. So if you were in denial about it before and thinking, oh no, this is what I like to do, or this is the way I like to be, it's the work that you have done has brought these previously subconscious behaviours and limiting beliefs up to the surface, and they've remained on the surface now. So if you ever feel like you're slipping back into old patterns and habits, it's like the high priestess within you will remind you, oh no, look how much you lost by being that way. You lost more than you gained by being that way. And so it's like that knowledge is allowing you to keep moving forward in a way that you wouldn't have before, because it feels like you would have felt guilty if you were doing something for yourself before. You might have felt guilty and then gone back into another cycle of people pleasing, of overgiving, whereas now it's like you've caught your own pattern and you can't unsee it now that it's really, really clear to you. It's like you've learned that lesson a number of times, so you don't need to learn it anymore. And that, it feels very freeing, but it also feels, there's just a bit of lingering sadness around it, but it's because you're still in the middle of the transition. So it's just those ripples that I talked about earlier, before everything settles down and you've fully made the change where you feel comfortable being the different, more empowered version of you. So let's have a look, let's ask for a clarifier for the Six of Swords for Libra. So we've got the Four of Wands. Yeah, so you will find stability in this new version of you. Saying that if you just keep going, you are going to reach smoother waters, safer shores, and you'll be able to build a really harmonious existence within yourself, if it's just internal changes that you're making, but also in your external reality. Especially if it's a physical move, it feels like wherever you're heading is going to feel really joyful and harmonious and allow you to express yourself as this new empowered, balanced, it feels like balanced with yin and yang within, divine masculine, divine feminine. It feels like some kind of integration is occurring within you, and when that locks into place, the potential for much more happiness and connection in your life feels, there's a much higher potential for that happening, especially with the Justice card following. So let's get a clarifier for the Justice card for Libra. Yeah, the Strength card. So this is saying, feels like this has been going on, this whole process has probably been going on for quite a long time. And the fact that you've endured, you've not run away from the hard work. You've really, when you do inner work, whether, like self-development or spiritual development, I always say it's not for the faint of heart, because you come up against your own shadow, you come up against your own limitations. And so a lot of people, are tempted to just, or not just tempted, but they do actually run away or start projecting and don't go any further, so then they have to go round again until they get another chance to make true progress. But it feels like you have really stuck in and you've worked really hard over an extended period of time, and so now it's saying that because of your inner strength and your determination and your patience, you've had patience with others and you've had patience with yourself, you've trusted the process and worked through it to the point now where you're going to start It's almost like new spiritual contracts are being set up within your psyche, which are going to work much better for you. It feels like a real achievement. Just taking an extra card just to, see, yeah, the Empress. So yeah, it's like, as a result of the work that you've done, of the endurance that you've had, the patience that you've had, and a feeling of like never giving up, due to all of that over an extended period of time, you're now being able to step into that Empress energy where you're going to be able to like enjoy yourself more. Feels like you'll be able to sit back and allow things to, or things will feel like they're flowing easier, and that everything within you and everything external to you feels much more harmonious and flowing and joined up, instead of feeling of disjointed or stop and start. It feels like a continual flow of abundance, joy, and just a flow, and a really empowered flow of emotions as well. So not spikes of up and down emotions, but more of a kind of like quite essential flow moving within you that brings balance and makes you feel a sense of belonging and a sense of sovereignty, and well deserved. This hasn't come easy. It's like you've really earned your stripes. You've worked for this, and you've had to face a lot of different challenges along the way. And whereas way back in the past you might have stumbled in the face of those challenges and reverted back to an old version of yourself, it's like this time, for whatever reason, you just kept going, and now I'm hearing that phrase, to the victor, the spoils. That feels appropriate for the amount of work that you've done. It's like you're now victorious and able to enjoy the fruits of your labour.